Couple things that I want to talk about. It's going to be a little bit different than what we've done here over the last couple of weeks. Last couple of weeks, right, we talked about digging in, hammering down, really getting involved with the client and finding out from a risk assessment standpoint what's going on so we're not hit with any surprises. We really dug into that a few weeks ago. Last week, we dug into the presentation. We went through all the different core transitions of the presentation. What else have we covered? We covered, making the connection with the client, right? And that it's just not sometimes just about the business, but it's about, making a connection. That's what separates us from being looked at as a salesperson to somebody who's truly there to make a difference and help out and find out what's the problem. And I've got a solution. And it's not about sales. It's about you telling me why you need this coverage. So, over the last couple of weeks, we've really dug down, and I made a couple notes about today because I have something a little bit more special that I was going to do next week. It came to me last night. I just didn't have time to put together my notes, but I'm going to do that next week. But today, I wanted to talk about some things that you may not think are as important as asking, finding the pain and things like, the 3-option close and just all the things that you're doing in the moment. These are things that you can do that are not actually in the moment, but they are necessary for you to stay in the game. Look, our brain is a very, very sensitive part of what we do. And if our head is not screwed on straight, this business can throw you for some curveballs. It can make you second guess when you're sitting up at night before your eyes shut. You're starting to think about different things that happened in your day, right, Christian? You're thinking about the things that are going to happen the next day. You're thinking about all the different things that are happening in your business. I want to achieve senior sales manager. I want to achieve district manager. How do I do this? How do I get a comp raise? And I'm so close. Your mind starts playing tricks on you a little bit. Right? You're at that you're $1,000 away from getting your first comp increase, your first promotion, being recognized on that Monday call, being recognized on the Friday call. Maybe you're brand new and you're just looking to get your first bonus, right? That first $200 or $300 bonus check just for writing your first app. You're putting in the time, you're putting in the work. It's your first week with the business. Right. And so it's everybody in between, right? Maybe even like Mike Hall is just trying to get to even that next level, right? Trying to get even to the next level, trying to get up to that Nick Theodore level. All right. And get to that integrity deal. And it's everybody in between. So you got to guard the mind. So here's some things that I've been preaching this stuff for years, and it truly has helped us stay in the game when times are tough. Quite frankly, when we feel like quitting. And don't lie to yourself and tell yourself that you've never maybe had the thought one time, cross your mind one time, I don't know about this business. I don't know what I'm doing out here, making all these dials, sitting here on video all day, talking, right? Have a good conversation at 11 a.m. Then all of a sudden, they're nowhere to be found at 4 p.m. Can't even get them back on the phone. Was it me? Did I say something? Did I do something? Right? Don't tell me that these thoughts haven't crossed your mind. Okay? What happened to Bob and Mary? I just met with Bob and Mary last night. We had a great conversation. They told me to call back today at 2 p.m. that they were ready to make a decision. And now they won't take my calls. They won't answer my text message. This business can play games with your mind a little bit. And so how do you become mentally, mind, body, and spirit? All three are crucial components of how to stay in this game of insurance and financial services. I have yet, in 44 years, I have yet to meet a successful CEO who's had it easy. And if you have, maybe they were given something, maybe they were grown up into a family business and everything was handed to them on a silver platter. But folks, I personally, and I think you all would agree with me, just kind of nod your heads if you agree with me. Have you ever met a CEO who had it easy? Nope, me neither. And this is no different. So how do we get our mind and our body and our spirit all working in conjunction with each other? These are just some tips. Doesn't mean you have to do them. It's really no different than everything that I've been giving you here every Thursday here for the last 5 weeks. These are just tips. One of the things that you can do when you first wake up in the morning, you see this addicting tool? You see this addicting thing right here? Okay. Don't turn it on for 30 minutes to an hour. If it's your alarm clock, go find yourself something on Amazon that is not a cell phone. You need 30 minutes to an hour, and don't turn on this addicting device. And listen, I'm as addicted as all of you are. I'm guilty. Hi, my name is Brett Grossman. I'm addicted to my cell phone. Okay. I am here with you folks. I promise you. Okay. I get yelled at by my wife constantly. I get yelled at. Okay. 30 minutes to an hour. And here's some things that you can do. You can pick up a book and you can read. You can stretch for 20 minutes. You can do some yoga. You can do some meditation. Heck, hop in a shower. Not a warm shower. Ready? Cold shower. But Brett, it's been snowing since Tuesday, January 2nd. It hasn't stopped snowing. I know, it's like crazy. Brett, no, listen. You have to activate your mind. You have to activate your body in order to set a certain type of vibration that, ready for this, is going to be relatable to that complete stranger that you just called off that lead. There's a certain type of connection and a vibration that they're going to get from you. If you're feeling like this, and I know we want to kind of monotone it down, I get it. But if you're feeling a certain type of way and you feel like you're dragging, I can't believe I'm making another call. Don't you think that's going to come across over the telephone? You bet your butt it's going to come across during a Zoom meeting or a Whereby meeting. I promise you it will. So these are just a couple things that you can do for the mind and the body. What if you're a little bit more of an active individual, but you like to use your gym time for 12 in the afternoon? That's kind of your break. I'm not disagreeing with it, but maybe you can break it up. Maybe you could do 30 minutes in the morning and then do 30 minutes at 12 in the afternoon. Or maybe the evening time is your gym time. That's your time to unwind, kind of take out whatever happened in the day. I get it. But you have to, you're going to have to change. You're going to have to change what you're doing in order to change what you're becoming. See, if what you want to become is a top producer, $10,000 in the bank at all times, every bill's paid off, the debt's paid off, the kids' school's paid off, groceries in the fridge, right? If I feel like getting on an airplane and flying across the country and going somewhere for 2 weeks, I can come back and all the applications that I put on the board the last 4 weeks, they're all now issue paying. And while I'm on vacation, I've got money hitting my bank account. I've got my bills paid. This, right? If that's the status that you want to get to, then you're going to have to sometimes, right, change the things you do. So, and I would get locked in to something that grows you. So it's the mind, it's your body, and it's your spirit. I'm not talking about religion or the Lord. I'm talking about find something that moves you. Like, look, guys, if we don't have something in our lives personally that's moving us in a positive direction, what direction do you think you're sitting in? What direction do you think you're moving in? This is not hogwash stuff here. Look, I'll share with you something right now. Prior to 9.5 years ago, I worked in corporate America. I worked in higher education. And you know what? I hadn't picked up a book since college. I wasn't a reader. I used to go work out at night after work. I was doing kind of a lot of the things that I'm talking to you about right now. I never did. Now you may be like me. You may just be a self-motivated person, but guess what? That only is going to take you so far. It's only going to take you so far. It's these little things that are compounded over time that allow you to elevate, vibrate, and get you up to that 212 level. Because all of us, all 23 of us here today, we may be operating at 211 degrees, but that can be the difference between becoming an Equus agent and a sales manager. That's the difference between going from your comp rate and jumping 2 spots in comp. Are you with me? Like literally 1 degree. Okay. So one of the things that I want to share with you, because I think a lot of times, a lot of the leaders come on and we think a lot of times that the leaders maybe are invincible, that things don't happen to them. I want to tell you a quick story about something that happened to me last night at around 10 p.m. at night. I met with Beth and Steve. It was the 3rd time I met with Beth and Steve. She has roughly a little over $2 million in assets. Steve used to work in the union. He now works for a glass company, and he doesn't know what to do with the extra $2,500 a month that he gets, that he knows is going to be taxable in the future. So he wanted to direct $2,500 a month into an IUL. I illustrated it for him 2 weeks ago. The second time I talked to them, he liked it, wanted to think about it, wanted to talk to one of his friends who's a financial advisor. Beth, I showed her how to take a bite out of some of her assets and roll them into an indexed annuity. She really liked it as well. Same thing, wanted to make sure that they talked to the advisor first. So now the 3rd call happens last night at 8:15 at night, get them back on Zoom. I go back through, I run back through the illustrations. Now Beth changes. It went from taking a small bite to now she wants to roll over close to 600,000 of those assets. His IUL stayed the same at $2,500 a month till age 72. He's 52 now. So for 20 years, we designed it. Okay. He had close to $490,000 in tax-free money at age 72, the same age that he would have to start taking his RMDs, required minimum distributions, in that taxable account that he had from the union, right? Okay. Because he had a 401k, then he had this $2,500 from the pension. Okay. Everything's going great. I'm getting ready to go for it, right? Because I'm like, I'm going for it. All right, here's all we're going to have to do for you today. Steve, just need your driver's license number, need those medications. Now, he is going to have to go fully underwritten, had a heart issue back in his 40s, so he's going to have to go fully underwritten, but I was ready. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, look, it's Wednesday. It's like pushing now. It's like over 9 o'clock at night. I've been going since 5 in the morning. It was my son's 9th birthday yesterday. I did all my fatherly responsibilities. You know what I mean? Took him out for a burger, got him Dunkin' Donuts in the morning, right? Grant Grossman's the man, right? Like, made a big deal. We got him balloons. I did all the stuff I was supposed to do in my life yesterday. And now I'm ready to go for the big one. And Steve literally like gets like this into the camera. Like, it was like he changed and he goes, "This all sounds like roses and sunshine and rainbows, but you know what? I still want to talk to my friend who's a financial advisor. I know he hasn't showed me anything like this, but I'm not doing anything." And he just got up and walked out of the room. True story. Just got up and walked out. And I was like, I looked at Beth and I was like, I think Steve likes me. And she started laughing and she said, "Look, he can do whatever he wants to do, but I like your product. I like you, and I want to do more." And I said, "Great." I said, I need you to go ahead and go grab your folder that has all your assets. I said, "We're going to do suitability right now." And literally, she picked up her desktop. She walked over to the office. She had this folder that she had told me about. And for the next 45 minutes, we went through suitability. I went through every account she has. I got her social. I got her birth date. I got the place of employment. Then I get the beneficiary information. She starts telling me if something happens to Steve, I want my $2 to be the contingent on the account. She starts reading me off their phone numbers, their birthdays. And what do I hear out of the back? Why are you giving out Zoe's phone number and birthday? So then she yells back, because I'm doing an application. And then he yells back, no, you're not. Okay. So then she puts it on mute. She goes, I'll be right back. She puts it on mute. She goes, she talks to him. She comes back and she goes, okay. He wants me to wait and talk to the financial advisor about, she goes, I know he doesn't have anything that what you're showing me, but just to appease him, so we're not arguing. I said, no, please. I don't want you guys arguing. I don't want you getting into a fight over it. Do what he's saying. And then I went, Steve, she should talk to your guy. And I kind of like yelled into the thing. And then we kind of just left it at that. But look, here's the moral of the story. The moral of the story is that, how nice would it have been at 10 o'clock last night to come away with 2 apps, right? It would have been the highlight. It would have been the highlight of my week. But that's this business. Just when you think you got it, life kind of comes and hits you with the curveball. The business comes and hits you with the curveball. Now, I have faith. I have belief. I am 100%. I am 100% convinced in me. I am convinced in me that I may not necessarily get both, but I'm definitely going to get her account. We're definitely going to help her. I have faith and belief in it. And that's what I want from you. I want you to have the same faith and belief that when the client who you had the great convo with doesn't show for the appointment, or the person who you helped doesn't answer your call, and all the different curveballs, you made 97 dials, 5 picked up, you only scheduled 1, and then they no-showed you on a Thursday. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off. Why? Because you didn't pick this up for the first hour of your day. You did some stretching, you did some meditation, you ate some good food, you got your mind right, and you wrapped yourself around what's about to happen this next day. That's the cool thing about life. Every day we get another opportunity to get up to the plate to take another swing. All right, last thing that we're going to talk about is the tie down. So there is going to be a little bit more let's go into a little bit of a training. Here's one of the things that I see from the leaderboards that we read every day is we have a lot of contacts, but I don't believe that we're seeing enough contacts to appointments. And then that appointment stick. That's a tie down issue. All right, let's talk tie down. And I know that Kyle and DeSalvo and Christian and Lou and Lisa, I know these guys, and Chuck, I know they're doing a great job because you're listening to them. You're listening to them every day do the tie down, but there's a difference between Kyle's setting 7 and he's getting 6 on video, right? Christian's setting 6 and he's getting 5 on video. The only difference between those guys and you is they've been doing it longer and they got more no's than you did prior. Like, that's it. The only difference between somebody who sells 500 apps in a year, 500 apps in 2 years, is they got more no's than you did a little bit faster, and then they figured it out. All right, let's talk tie down. Remember how we talked about hammering down on the client when you're actually in the appointment? Make it equally as important when you're scheduling the appointment. Make it equally as important that they're both there together and that they definitely show up and pick up the phone when you call. Why? Here's one of the questions you can ask them. When you bought your house, did you both go to the closing together? Have you guys ever had children? Did you guys have children together? We did. Okay. Were you guys in the hospital together? Oh, during the important decisions that you made in life, did you make them together, or did one of you just show up and then you told the other one about it? Because Bob, Mary, when I call you later today, that's one of those decisions that we're going to talk about. It's just an equally as important decision, and that's why I need to have you both there. Now, what about if it's just Bob? There is no Mary. Bob, when I call you back later today at 5 o'clock, one of the things I want to share with you, Bob, is Thursday night at 5 o'clock. It is by far the most popular time of the day. What I mean is everybody is looking for a Thursday at 5 o'clock because that's when they get done work. And Bob, I'm going to leave that appointment time slot to you. But if I want you to understand, if for whatever reason you don't pick up the phone or you don't show up, literally there's 7 other people who didn't get that time slot. Make them feel a certain type of way. Why? So that they pick up the phone, so that they show up to their appointment. Listen, if it's not important to you, the agent, why in the world is it going to be important to them? If you're not taking it serious yourself, why are they going to take it serious? They're not. So if you don't make, like, this isn't a telemarketing call. This isn't like, hey, when you pick up the phone, I'm going to finish telling you about these Cutco knives that are going to cut through a piece of yarn, right? And it's going to cut through a watermelon. Like, no, like, we're not selling Cutco here. Like, this is literally the difference between, Bob, if you don't pick up the phone on Thursday and then I call you back next Tuesday and you tell me that you went to the doctor and you were diagnosed with cancer, I can't help you. Like, it's literally that serious. Because that story happens all the time. All the time it happens. Make it important to you, and then they will feel like it's equally as important to them. And make them feel a certain, listen, I love that whole line. If it's Monday and you scheduled for Monday at 6 o'clock, Troy, I'm telling you, Troy, Monday at 6 o'clock is the most popular time that everyone I speak to wants to meet with me because they just got done work. They got a little bit of downtime. Let me ask you just real quick, Troy, is there any reason whatsoever that you don't think that you're going to be able to make this appointment? Because there's going to be probably another 5 or 6 people who are going to want that time, and I'm going to have it dedicated to you. Just tie it down tighter. Don't knot it, double knot it. Tie it in a double knot. I used to have to tie my son's sneakers in a double knot. Why? Because they always became untied. Sometimes it was by no fault of his own. But wouldn't you rather have somebody who texts you at 5 o'clock and says, hey, listen, I can't make it at 6, but could you do 7? That's better than getting no-showed. What about if you had somebody who texts you 5 up 6 and says, I'm really sorry. I know how important this was to meet in 5 minutes, but could we do it tomorrow night at 6? Guess what? I'll take that any day of the week over a no-show. And I know most of you would too as well. Because guess what? Because you had that 45 minutes to an hour, you had that time slot allotted for the client. So now they're not there. Well, guess what you can do now? Dial, make calls, schedule more appointments, or if for whatever reason you feel like it's still a shaky appointment, double book. Double book them. I hear Christian and Kyle talk about it all the time that they double book. And sometimes both appointments show up. So then they just pass one off to each other. I'd rather be caught in that situation than caught empty-handed. All right, guys. That's all we got today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tomorrow's Friday. We've got the team call, 10 a.m. And I know that that on Saturday at 9:30 in the morning, Kristen Brockman's going to be going over a quick tutorial on Zoom about how the new real-time internet leads work. So if any of you work on Saturdays or do dials on Saturdays, it's a great opportunity. Talk to your upline manager about getting that link for Saturday. Listen to Kristen Brockman talk about the new real-time internet leads from Integrity. They're hitting the field here, I think either tomorrow or they're hitting the field on Monday. And here's what I'll share with you, last thing. you might think this sounds crazy, right? I get on almost every call that we do every week. I get on almost every call. And I also get on other companies' calls too, because I want to hear what they're doing, because I want to peek in and I want to hear what other people are doing. And one of our competition, this is all they use is those real-time internet leads. And I'll share with you this, a lot of the leaders in some of those other companies, that's all they're doing is those real-time internet leads. So I think it'll be a great mix to what you're already currently doing. All right, Mike, call's all yours. My screen's frozen. I don't know what's going on.
Well,